Hello students, good morning. So last time we discussed about the consumer surplus of both Marshall and Hicks. Today we shall discuss about the producer surplus or the surplus earned by the producer in the process of sale. Okay, so producer surplus. Now, if you remember, I told you, in case of consumer surplus is the difference between what a consumer is willing to pay and what he actually pays. That means the extra satisfaction, extra utility which a consumer derives in course of his consumption is called consumer surplus. Similarly, producer surplus is the difference between the selling price of the product and the marginal cost of the producer. So producer surplus is nothing but the difference between the amount the producer gets as his revenue, or as you say, the selling price of the producer and the marginal cost of the product, and whatever extra amount of income he earns over and above the marginal cost, we call this as the producer's surplus. Okay, if his marginal cost is 10 rupees and if he earns a sum of rupees 20 from a product, we call this 10 extra rupees is called the producer surplus. So producer surplus is nothing but the difference between the total revenue of the producer minus the marginal cost of the product. Okay, so let's show this in a diagram. You see in the left diagram here, this is producer surplus. Now let's say this is the market demand of the product, this is the market supply of the product. MD and MS, market demand and market supply, right? So they meet at point E. Accordingly, price determined is OP and quantity sold in the market is OQ. Now the market price becomes OP0. OP0 is the market price, right? Now if OP0 is the market price, remember, to sell OQ amount of goods, what will be the total revenue of the producer? He is to sell at a price of OP1, OP0, and the total quantity of goods he is to sell is OQ. Therefore, the total revenue the producer will get is equal to OQE P0. This square is the total amount of revenue which the producer will generate by selling OQ amount of the good at OP price, OP0 price. Now, if this is the total revenue, how much is the marginal cost? Remember, the supply curve is always the marginal cost curve. Supply curve is also the marginal cost curve. So the supply curve starts from point M, goes upwards. This is the marginal cost, because we know as you go on producing more and more, the marginal cost rises. So here the marginal cost goes on rising, as a result of which to sell OQ amount of goods at OP price, what is his total marginal cost? His total marginal cost is equal to MEQ. This is the total marginal cost, and this is the total marginal cost, and the total revenue is OP0 EQ. So let us say, if you deduct OP0 EQ minus MEQ, how much we get? We get P0EM. P0EM. This amount or this triangle P0ME, this triangle is the producer surplus, because this is the extra amount of revenue which the producer gets over and above his marginal cost. So the marginal cost is this much, and his extra income, extra earning on the producer is up to the extent of, as we said, P0, E and M. This triangle is the extra amount of income which the producer gets. So this is the producer surplus. Okay. Now if here I have written producer surplus M P0E, M P0E, this triangle. If I say what is the consumer surplus here, it is L P0E. It starts from here. This is the market demand. It starts from L. So L P0E, this is consumer surplus, this is producer surplus. Okay, this is consumer surplus, this is producer surplus, and the producer surplus means the surplus amount of income which the producer not only expects but really gets in the course of his transaction or trade is called producer surplus. Now remember, normally in whether it is producer surplus, whether it is consumer surplus, that is an allocative efficiency. That is an allocative efficiency. What is allocative efficiency? Now this surplus, whether it is surplus amount of satisfaction which goes to the consumer, surplus amount of revenue which goes to the producer, this surplus amount of revenue or surplus amount of consumption or satisfaction, whether going to the buyers or to the sellers, this should be efficiently allocated. That means the producer must get producer surplus, the consumers must get consumer surplus, and this surplus should be beautifully or betterly distributed between the buyers and sellers. If it is rightly, if this surplus rightly goes to the consumers and producers, we call this that is complete allocative efficiency in the market. But very often, my dears, very often this allocative efficiency is not properly done. If it is not properly done, then let us see in which market this is properly done and in which market this allocative efficiency is not properly done. Or as you say, in which market consumer surplus and producer surplus are distinctly visible and both get their shares in the right proportion, and in which market these shares to both the parties don't go in the right proportion, whether the sellers enjoy more, buyers enjoy less, or buyers enjoy more, sellers enjoy less. This we find in different markets, that we say there is no allocative efficiency. So this we can explain in case of two markets. One is under perfect competition, other one is under monopoly. Okay. Now this what I have shown here is in a free market economy. In a free market economy means today's economy, in case of India, or in a free market economy where the buyers and sellers are free to determine the price in the market, and accordingly their surplus is also determined there. Now let us go to explain what will be, how will be the allocative efficiency under perfect competition and the allocative efficiency under monopoly. Here in this market we clearly see the consumer surplus and producer surplus are equal. So this is very beautifully, very excellently the proportion is maintained and the allocative efficiency is maintained. In this market, in this open market economy, we find this. But let us talk of the two other markets where and see in which market there is how much allocative efficiency. Okay, let's first talk of here in the right side diagram. I have taken two markets together, monopoly and perfect competition. Okay, so you see this is called dead weight loss. Dead weight loss means it is a loss of surplus both to the consumers and to the producers. Where? In which market? Now under monopoly. Under perfect competition there is perfect ratio is maintained between producer surplus and consumer surplus. Both get the ample surplus. But under monopoly, the producer surplus, the consumer surplus is, producer surplus is increased, but consumer surplus is reduced, and still then producer surplus should have been something more extra, but it is less. So this less amount of surplus which both the consumers and producers get, we call this as dead weight loss. Let's see how under perfect commercial it works and how this allocative efficiency works under monopoly. Now you see, this is the demand curve of monopoly, this is the demand curve of perfect competition. Okay? Now this is the supply curve. Let's say in both, this is supply curve of both markets. Okay? Now let's first come to the perfect competition. Under perfect competition, price is determined at the point where demand and supply intersect. So this is the demand curve of perfect competition, this is the supply curve of perfect competition. Both meet at point E. Accordingly, O, let's say this is O, OQP. OQP, P means perfect commercial. So OQ, amount of good is sold in the market, is bought in the market. So OQ of amount of good is traded in the market. And what is the price? The price is OPP, means this is the price of perfect commercial market. Therefore I have written here PP. So OPP price, OQP is the demand. Now here, just if this is the price and this is the demand, looking at this diagram also you can imagine, in this diagram, what is the consumer surplus, what is the producer surplus under perfect competition. Now see, if this is the price and this is the quantity demanded, then this is the total revenue of the producer. Now therefore, the consumers will get some extra benefit or extra satisfaction or extra surplus over and above what price they pay for that. Therefore, the total consumer surplus will be PP, P and E. This particular PP, E and P, this total house, this total triangle is the consumer surplus for the consumers under perfect competition. Because you see, this is the price they pay, but the satisfaction they get up to OP. So therefore, the total satisfaction, total utility they will get OP, E, QP, this much total, and the price they pay is this much house. Therefore, this triangle P, PP, E, this triangle is the consumer surplus under perfect competition. Then what is the producer surplus under perfect competition? Producer surplus is M, PP, E. This is the producer surplus. This is the producer surplus because the total amount of revenue the producer get is O, PP, E, QP, and the marginal cost is O, M, E, QP, this much. So therefore, this triangle M, E, PP, this little triangle is left as extra revenue for the producers. So therefore, this is the producer surplus and this is the consumer surplus for the consumers under perfect competition. I have written here consumer surplus is PP, PE, PP, PE, this one, and producer surplus is MPPE, MPPE. This is the producer surplus. Now let us talk of monopoly. Under monopoly, remember always, monopoly is such a market where there is only one seller. Therefore, he has complete control over the supply. He always, under monopoly, remember always, under monopoly, the output is smaller and price is higher than perfect competition. So here in the monopoly market, what happens? This is the supply curve and this is the demand curve meet at this point. So now you see the total supply of the good is OQM. This is the quantity supplied under monopoly QM. Extend the line and the price of monopoly market will be OPM, price of monopoly. You see, this is the perfect competition price, this is the monopoly price, much higher. This is the perfect competition output, this is the monopoly output. Monopoly output is much lower. So monopoly output is much lower and price is much higher than perfect competition. So in that case, let us see what will be the producer surplus and consumer surplus. Now here, if this is the output QM then price is OPM. Now the total revenue of the producer will be OPM, F and QM. This total rectangle will be total revenue. And how much is his cost? His marginal cost is only OM, E1, QP. Therefore, the total producer surplus will be, you see, total producer surplus will be PM, F or PM, M, E1 and F. This PM, F, E1, M, this house, this total entire amount is the producer surplus for the producers under monopoly. Because here the total revenue is this house and the marginal cost is simply OM, E1, QM, and the rest amount, whatever left, this much amount is the producer surplus under monopoly. Then what is the consumer surplus? The consumer surplus is the rest amount, that is PMF. This is the consumer surplus, this much, this small amount. Remember, under perfect competition, the consumer surplus was PPE, this much amount, bigger house. But now it has reduced to CS, this much amount, PMF. Therefore, this is the loss of the consumer surplus. Previously, under perfect competition, the producer equilibrium was less, much less. But now the producer equilibrium has increased to M, E1, F, PM, this much entire house. So this is the extra amount of producer surplus which the producers get. Therefore, under perfect competition, the allocative efficiency is properly maintained, the ratio of producer surplus, consumer surplus is maintained, but under monopoly, this ratio is never maintained. So there is never the allocative resource efficiency is never maintained, and the producer surplus and consumer surplus, the ratio is never maintained. Rather, under monopoly, the consumer surplus is much less, the producer surplus is much more, because the market structure is such that there is only a single seller. Therefore, he does what he likes, and therefore he enjoys more producer surplus. Now, what is the loss to the society as a result of that? If it is a case of monopoly, then what is the repercussion comes to the society as a whole because of this disallocation of efficiency or disallocation of the consumer surplus and producer surplus? Now, previously under perfect competition, the consumer surplus was this much amount total. Now, under monopoly, consumer surplus is this much amount. So, this amount is the less of minus CS. Previously, under perfect competition, this much house, this triangle E1RE was previously under producer surplus when this much amount was produced. So this was the producer surplus. But now, as this much amount is produced, less amount is produced. Now this area is left out from the producer surplus. Therefore, we can say this as a loss of consumer surplus. This is the loss of producer surplus. And these taken together, these two, this is the loss, whether it is a consumer surplus loss or the producer surplus loss. It is a loss to the society. It is the loss to the economy, to the market as a whole. Therefore, we call this as dead weight loss. This is called the dead weight loss, where the loss comes both to the producers, both to the consumers. There is less consumer surplus, there is less producer surplus. Therefore, we call this as dead weight loss. So therefore, here, remember, under perfect competition, we get more consumer surplus and we also get equal amount of consumer surplus and producer surplus are equal. But under monopoly, what happens? Producer surplus rises, consumer surplus falls. So the allocative efficiency is not properly maintained, and the ratio is not maintained. So the consumers are less benefited, the producers are more benefited. But still, even if producers are more benefited, they also lose a certain part. Consumers lose no doubt, but producers also lose a certain part because the output falls from OQP to OQM. Therefore, because the output falls, so the producer surplus also falls to the amount E1RE. This triangle, the producer surplus falls. Previously, what it was under perfect condition, now it falls under monopoly. Similarly, because of the output falls, so the consumer surplus also falls from a bigger area to a smaller area. So this is the consumer surplus minus or less of consumer surplus that the consumers enjoy in the market. Therefore, this deduction in consumer surplus and producer surplus is nothing but a deduction of surplus to the society as a whole, to the economy as a whole, to the market as a whole, which we call as nothing but dead weight loss. Okay? Thank you very much. नेक्स्ट टाइम आसले आम काली मुझे आउ तुम गोटे वीडियो पठेबी समस्त वीडियो भल भाव देख बुझ आउ आवश्यक पड़े मत कमेंट्स लेख ओके थैंक यू।